My name is Nano. I'm a freshman in high school. My father is a businessman, and my mother works part-time. I have a younger brother who's 9 years younger than me, named Yuki. The four of us were one happy family, but 6 months ago, a sudden tragedy swept over our family.
Dad! Mom!
I'm here for you, Yuki. After that, our relatives held a meeting and decided that my brother and I were to stay with my father's younger brother and his wife. My uncle and his wife didn't have any children of their own, and were talking about adopting a child anyways, so it was perfect because we were related by blood to them. I was ready to care for Yuki myself, so honestly, I was relieved. However, when we got there, I found out that my uncle was a very controlling person.
What the hell are these grades? You better not be slacking off, moisturizing cream. You don't need this crap. Get rid of it. How many times do I have to tell you not to leave your hair on the floor?
Honey, don't you think you're being a bit too strict on her?
You keep your mouth shut. Setting boundaries and rules in the beginning is the most important part. Hey, it's almost 9 o'clock. Get to bed. I better not catch you staying up.
Things went on like this, and I had absolutely no freedom, and I was forced to help my aunt and sleep by 9 p.m. But these rules only applied to me.
All right, Yuki. Let's watch a movie together. I found one that looks great. Can Nano join us? Oh, your sister's already asleep. So let's watch it together, all right? Okay.
My uncle was very harsh towards me, but spoiled Yuki like crazy. His reason was,
You'll be taking on our family name, so you gotta study hard and become a capable young man, all right?
my aunt came from a family of business owners, and my uncle was taken into the family as the heir to their family business and wanted his own son to be the heir to his throne. But they were having a hard time conceiving a child when, coincidentally, they were able to adopt us, who were related by blood. My uncle was thrilled about this and would always say,
"You're here thanks to Yuki. I never needed a girl."
Thankfully, my aunt was on my side, and Yuki still cared about me, so I was able to endure my uncle's cold attitude toward me. But something happened in my senior year.
Hey, what time do you think it is right now?
It's still 7 p.m.
You want me to take away your phone?
I work a part-time job, and I bought this phone with my own money. You don't have the right to take it away from me, Uncle. That's not fair.
Shut up! You're just a freeloader! You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Yuki!
I'm grateful that you took us in. I really am. That's why I help out Auntie so much around the house and try to pay for myself as much as I can.
Duh! None of that is worth praise. Just keeping you with us costs us extra money for food and things, alright?
Yeah, I understand.
Let me make one thing clear. I'm not paying for you to go to college, alright?
Okay, but there should be money from my parents' insurance, so I plan to use that for college.
Yeah, right. You're not touching that money.
Huh?
All of that money is going to be spent on Yuki's education.
Why though? I have a right to that money as well.
You're just a girl. What's the point of a girl going to college? On the other hand, Yuki has a purpose: to study hard and take over the family business. So who deserves that money? Even a monkey could answer that.
But that money was from my parents, for both of us. I'll save money and pay for my classes, so please, let me pay for my enrollment fee from that money.
No, never!
Why not? I'm trying to make a compromise here. I'm saying that you can use the rest on Yuki. I mean, first of all, you have no right to decide how that money is spent, Uncle.
How dare you say that? You're just a freeloader! See, this is why I hate girls. I'm your legal guardian. I have a responsibility to manage your funds. It's part of my job. To make sure that you don't use Yuki's share of the money as well.
There was no getting through to him. I didn't know what to do, so I consulted my aunt. My aunt was furious about it too. Hey! What the hell is this that I hear about you not letting Nano use the money that your brother left behind?
Yuki is my successor. That money is going to him.
Nano and Yuki are both your brother's children. That's so selfish and unacceptable.
I'm the man of this house. You keep your mouth shut.
You've been like that ever since you took over the company after my father. You think that men are better than women? Think again. The argument escalated, and my aunt and uncle got into a physical fight. Stop, Auntie!
She's gonna get hurt! All of this is your fault, Nano! After you graduate high school, get out of my house!
So, this is how I got kicked out after 3 years of being adopted. You don't have to listen to that stubborn fool, you know.
No! Don't go, Nano!
Listen, Yuki, even after I'm gone, study hard and become a self-sufficient and independent man, okay?
Okay, if I do, will I be able to see you again someday, Nano?
Of course, Yuki. I'll be waiting for you. My aunt and Yuki tried to talk me out of it, but my mind was set. After that, I worked my ass off to save money to live alone and go to college. But it wasn't enough. I was thinking about what to do when my aunt secretly handed me an envelope with $10,000 in it. I was surprised. I'm so sorry about him. Please use this when you need it, and call me if you're ever in trouble, okay? I thanked my aunt in tears, but at the same time, I couldn't be reliant on her money, so I applied for a scholarship and somehow managed to get myself into college. The day of my graduation, I grabbed what little things I owned and left my uncle's house, and I received some messages almost immediately.
I better not see you ever again. Don't come back crying. You won't get any help from me.
It was my graduation today. Don't you have the decency to at least say congratulations or something?
Why would I congratulate you? Nothing to celebrate there.
Okay, why are you contacting me then?
There's something that I thought you should know.
What's that?
When my brother, your father, died in that accident, we were only supposed to adopt Yuki.
What?
So at that funeral, I talked to Yuki alone and asked him if he wanted to join our family. What do you think he said?
I don't know. Tell me.
He said that he would only come if you came. He was quite stubborn about it.
Yuki said that? Oh my.
I told him that I'd buy him anything he wanted. His favorite toys or comics, anything. But he didn't accept my offer. He didn't want to be split from you. The only reason why you weren't put into the foster system is thanks to Yuki.
Why are you telling me this now? Such weird timing.
Just to remind you that the only reason why you were able to live with us is because I wanted Yuki to inherit my empire. In other words, you don't have a place here. You never did. So stay away from Yuki and do what you want and die however you want.
You'll never hear from me again. Thank you for everything. Goodbye.
Good. Finally, we're done wasting our precious money on you.
I couldn't hold my tears back. Not because of the hurtful and cold words that my uncle threw at me, but finding out that Yuki had stood behind me. I realized that it was Yuki who was protecting me all this time, and I was ashamed that I never noticed that. I sat in my cheap and empty rundown apartment and cried for hours. I promised myself to become an independent adult that wouldn't have to have Yuki protect me anymore. So I gave everything I had to my college education and part-time job. My hard work paid off, and I managed to get into a good company. All the while, I was secretly in touch with my aunt and checked up on Yuki now and then. She told me how Yuki was diligently and successfully been completing all of the assignments and readings that my uncle handed him and was always the top of his class. Once he was in high school, Yuki got a phone and secretly contacted me, and we were back in touch again. He had grown into such a respectable young man and so caring about me still. But he had a flame of revenge burning inside of him towards my uncle. 10 years later, I was 40 years old, and Yuki was 31 now, and the time was right.
Hey!
Who's this?
It's me!
I don't know anyone named me.
Your uncle!
What? No, that's not possible. That man kicked me out of the house. There's no way he would contact me. So you must be a con man. I'm blocking you now.
What? I'm your uncle! You haven't heard about my illness?
Sure I have. I heard that you claimed to be going to business meetings and practically were drowning yourself in booze, and how you shoved expensive food down your throat and became overweight. And as a result, you got blood clots. And now your lower body is paralyzed, right?
You know everything?
Yeah, so what? That has nothing to do with me.
Of course it does! Come home and take care of me! You owe me for raising you!
Yeah, that makes no sense. At all. Yuki told me everything. You said you were going to use that money that my parents left for us for Yuki's education. But you used it on your hobbies and leisure, right?
What are you talking about? That was my hard-earned money!
You think you can convince Yuki of that too? Just so you know, it was Yuki who does the bookkeeping at your company that found out about this.
What? Yuki?
Oh yeah. He has a bunch of proof about how you've been embezzling the company's money.
So what? Yuki is my successor, whom I raised myself. Yuki listens to anything I say. He'll help me hide this. I just have to give him the word.
I'm truly impressed at how capable Yuki is. You guys talked every day, but he fooled you so well.
What do you mean?
I'm sure you didn't know that Yuki never forgave you for kicking me out of the house.
Lies! You don't know Yuki at all! He only smiled and did everything I told him to!
Do you really think that people like that exist? You have no idea how much Yuki had to hold himself back, all to fool you. It's painful for me to even imagine what he had to go through. You're the one that's being fooled.
Yuki is my successor!
Sure, go ahead and believe that if you want. We're all entitled to our own beliefs, but you'll see what happens.
What do you mean?
He's going to use all of that evidence that he gathered and force you out of the company.
What? Who's going to do that?
Like I said, Yuki is.
What?
But you don't believe that he would, right? So sit tight. Oh, my bad. You can't do anything but sit tight right now.
Shut up! Hey!
After that, Yuki submitted the preponderance of evidence to the company executives, and my uncle was kicked out of the company while he was still hospitalized. I haven't seen Yuki really smile like that in a while when he was telling me about what was going on at the company. At the same time, I realized the magnitude of burden I left him with when I left the house. Yuki was praised for raising the questions about his uncle and was voted in as the next president of the company. At the same time, my aunt filed for divorce. My uncle, who needed care, obviously tried to fight it, but the years of mental abuse was recognized by court, and she was freed and won a hefty amount of alimony. My uncle was abandoned by my aunt, me, and his only hope, my brother. He used what little money he had left to hire caretakers for a while, but since he was such an arrogant guy, they only did the bare minimum and left him alone on his bed for most of the day. I felt a little bad that he was living a lonely life now, but I guess he deserves it after everything he did for his selfish purpose. What goes around comes around, I guess.